What is going on, guys? It's Adam A.K. Marf, and this is Marfoogle News. What is going on tonight is going to be packed full of stories. In fact, we actually have extra content tonight, which will be on our website, which I'll explain in just a second. But if you've never been here before, or if you're porting over from our other channel, Marfoogle News, which is at 164,000 subscribers now, make sure you know this is a live call-in show. The number is 224-400-MARF, which will be scrolling on the black line below. We're going to be covering a lot of stories, and all of them will be available via our website. In fact, if you want to grab a second device, you can go and find this show. It's very easy to navigate by thumbnail. The writing is on the wall, but will we listen? Once you see this blue thumbnail here, you'll click on it, and you'll see that we have every single article, every single video, every single document, anything that we share here, we give you the source, so you don't just think, oh, they're just passing along Steve or Susan's messages here. So make sure to check this out. Everything is going to be available here. You can grab a second device and follow along. Not only that, you'll know where the sources are coming from. And then, of course, as always, nothing in the show should be considered legal, medical, or financial advice. The views of the callers can differ considerably and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of myself, Dex, or anyone else with the show. And you should always do your own research and consult with professionals. The internet is full of fake news, so please take everything with a grain of salt. With that out of the way, you can also get notifications from us. A lot of the platforms have problems nowadays. Who knows why? But again, if you want notifications directly from us, you can go to our website, marfooglenews.com. Either click the orange bell, or you can click the white box that says Marfoogle News would like to send you notifications. The only time it's going to send you a notification is when we go live or when we put out an article or a video. So other than that, we're not going to just bug you to bug you. And then you can also sign up for the email alerts, the SHTF alerts as well. We have over 500 people. The other day, somebody said, oh, you don't know any military. Anybody that's followed this channel for a long time knows that we actually had a Discord of 15,000, including 500 active and retired military veterans and active military. That was, of course, basically dissolved again forcefully. So those people are still around, and they still let us know what's going on as far as that. And we never just take one opinion or one person saying something and say, hey, this guy said something, or Bob said this, so we're going to pass it on. We make sure we try to get it from multiple sources and try to back it up with authoritative sources as well, and see what we can come up with, and then let you know. All right, and then we're going to bring in Dex. Dex is my co-host. He's also going to be screening the calls at 224-400-MARF, which is right here. And then, of course, if you want to get through, you have to press option 4 once you get to our phone tree, and you'll actually get Dex while we're live here. Dex, what is going on, and how are you doing tonight?
Hello, Adam, and hello, Foogle fam. I'm doing well, and looking forward to hearing from the callers tonight. So make sure you guys call in early if you want to get on the show.
So thank you, Dex. Again, he's going to be updating the website live. If there's any breaking news, it will also be there as well. And just so you know, all of this is going to be over at the website. There's web-only content, which also has a lot there. A lot of stuff that, of course, you can't really cover anywhere. So make sure to go over there. You get exclusive content there on top of that. Let's go right into the first article, and then I'm going to head over to the chat. China's third aircraft carrier expected to launch in 2021. Now, we've talked about this. They're already at work on the fourth, and my prediction on this one, and it's a prediction, is that they are going to complete 3 in 2021. Now, they're not going to say it until it's done, and then all of a sudden we're going to get an article that says they are now up to, I believe, 6. That is what I have heard from my sources, that these are being built. On top of this, up until just about a year ago, we did not know that they were mass-producing naval ships under the cover of these massive ports that were covered. In fact, we didn't know, or at least the public didn't know, until someone actually got a photo of these Chinese ports that were all massive. I mean, if you think about it, try building a aircraft carrier under a cover so satellites can't see it. Imagine how big that has to be. Until some boat went up there and they saw all of these boats getting built. Why are they building them so fast? Again, they are now the largest Navy, not by a couple ships, by over 70. And that was as of a few months ago. In fact, they have now beat us most likely by 100 ships. That is insane. Now, of course, people go over that, oh, well, we have more of this and they have, less of this or that. Either way, they are the largest Navy now, which is absolutely insane. They have us in population by about 1 billion. So not exactly, if you went head-to-head people-wise, that's not a fair match. As far as Navy, some say that it is becoming more and more of a fair match, and even some say that it is uneven as far as that goes. And that would be a big part of a next conflict, would be ocean warfare. So, Dexter...
Well, and Adam, why is it that the media, because I know we've talked about this ship before, but why is it, I think I know why, but it's interesting to see that the media is pushing this narrative quite a bit, right? That's part of what this is about, is to see it popping up over and over again about how strong their military is, how much more new, ships they have, or et cetera. So we keep seeing this appear as headlines, major headlines from major outlets in the media, week after week after week, especially this year.
And of course, on top of the thousands of other articles that we have shown you that basically point towards something massive coming. You of course have the events of the last year and even the last 3 months to really think about. And if you know kind of the full story behind things, you might suspect that something massive is going on right underneath our noses. That's my opinion, but of course everyone has their own, and they're like a certain something on our body, and they all stink, right? So we won't get too much into that. But on top of this, this aircraft again is going to enter naval service. They say around 2025. Media reports predicted based on recent photos of ship's construction. I don't think that that's an accurate representation, considering their last one went from the stage it's at now. In about 3 months, it was all of a sudden done, and people were like, "Oh, we thought it wouldn't be done until 2022 or something." So we'll see what happens with that, and again, we'll follow it, and we will let you guys know. On top of that, China's long-range stealth boomer outlined in PLA Air Force recruitment video. Now, there is a lot of things that are coming out. Of course, now we've talked about how they have surpassed us in Navy size, especially with ships, by almost, I would say we're over 100 more than us. Now, are they mass producing planes, jets, and boomers? And not only that, we've covered in recent weeks that they have been using these new boomers to go over several places and actually being chased out of several countries all at the same time. They were simultaneously in 4 different countries drilling or simulating doing some huge event. Not only that, they have a representation of the Taiwanese, cap building, and of course they have made it, it's probably spent millions of dollars recreating this mock version of Taiwanese capital there, and they are practicing taking it down. So obviously something is going on. They wouldn't just do that to I guess have a new fancy practice grounds that looks exactly like Taiwan. I think there might be something up. I guess where it comes into play is if we end up sticking up for Taiwan, because it definitely looks like they want to take it back. As far as these boomers, we've seen tons of stories on these. It says that the PLA Air Force, for the first time, gave a hint on the design of its next-generation long-range strategic stealth boomer, and I say boomer on purpose for a reason, by including it in a scene in the service's 2021 recruitment video, released on Tuesday. Leading analysts say that the new boomer, allegedly designated the H-20, which, again, they have the H-6 already, could make its public debut soon. In the closing minute of the video, an unknown aircraft rendered in computer-generated imagery enters the stage, and it is covered in a white blanket, and only the front outline can be seen, which suggests that this aircraft boasts a flying wing design with 2 intakes on the back of the plane. It has no visible tail and wings, and no winglets on the tips of the wings. So this is like our stealth boomer, see? I mean, it's virtually a carbon copy, which these things are absolutely dangerous, and you never want to see that over your head. We see it over our head on a regular basis now because they're flying all over the country above us. We've actually seen these on our viewer-submitted videos flying all over the place all of a sudden. So who knows? What are they practicing for? And then we have U.S. Naval Forces Europe, Africa, U.S. 6th Fleet. It says the U.S. Navy routinely operates in the Black Sea to reassure at NATO allies, and this is a tweet, by the way, and partners to ensure security and stability in the region. Today, the USS Donald Cook operating in international waters in the Black Sea, while a Russian Su-24 does a low pass nearby. Now, I'm going to play this video for you real quick. This is an actual Navy video. Again, you might be saying, well, I've seen the Blue Angels fly closer than that. Well, when it's flying close to a military ship such as the USS Donald Cook, that could actually trigger them firing on it because jets are not supposed to fly that close. That's why they said it was dangerous and possibly kind of puffing their chest up. Not a good thing, of course. We've seen it before, especially from Russia. They do most of the chest pounding. But right now, more than ever, we are basically looking all directions. We don't know which way it's going to come from. So again, we're going to cover all of it. On top of that, if you have been following, Russia has been the country that everybody's pointing to, but at the same time, look who's pointing away from the other side, if you know what I mean. Look at who's saying, no, it's not them, it's these guys. I don't know. There's a lot of debate on this. Again, that is for you guys to have. Lisa K, thank you so much. I love Chihuahuas. Thank you again. Says, I've been having a lot of dreams of what's to come. I am probably going to talk about that in just a bit. A lot of dreams myself, but either way, we'll we will need to have a show on that. Redhead with Dreads. Holy moly. Just did a ninja. Thank you, Redhead with Dreads. By the way, over on DLive, that is the largest compliment. You are actually already on the list because I know you've done that once before. But again, that is the highest compliment you can pay on DLive. So thank you so much, Redhead with Dreads. Thank you for supporting independent media, especially through these crazy times where everything is changing on a daily basis and we basically have to do backflips every day. So thank you so much. That is appreciated. Again, just the same, Geisy, thank you for the lemon. Philly Poo, Force of Nature, we've got Maui Racing Realtor, Voss Shadow, Pan Dragon, and Renegade Petey. Grace for you too. I like that song, Adam. Thanks, Redhead. Thank you, Grace for you too, and thank you guys for all the support. Lisa K, again, thank you. Old Chunk of Coal, doing work. Thanks for the news and company. AMS Ashley Marie is here tonight, and we've got Rain 88 Northern Lights, Minnesota. Thank you so much again for showing up tonight. And then let's see here. Over on YouTube, Billy 2020, Philip Simonetta. Thank you for being here. A lot of new folks here tonight that I know that weren't here yesterday. I believe we picked up about 500 over the last day. Dustin Layton, thank you so much. Lynn at Ann Lynn. Hello, how are you doing? I hope you guys are doing awesome. Hi from Utah, thank you so much. Scrappylicious, Leap of Faith, Steve F., and of course Kelly Denning, Set Apart. Thank you so much. Timmy D, good evening, Adam. Thank you. Good evening, Timmy. Chrissy Robinson, Philip, again, thank you. Island by the Sea, and Jesse Lynn. Thank you, guys. Redhead with Dread says, glitchy. Geostorm, maybe? Who knows? All right. And then if you guys want to support in a different way and protect yourself, this is something that I have heavily said that you guys need to actually look into whether or not you go through us. And I highly recommend if you don't go through us, go through somebody else, go through a different creator. EMP Shield can actually protect you against an EMP. we have shown tons and tons of evidence that they are worried about this beyond what most people think. In fact, were trying to redo the whole grid. Now all of a sudden, it's like they just tried to reverse that. So I don't know what's actually going on. We're going to be following it. We're most likely going to get some news on that very soon. But again, with the previous countries we're talking about, they have said things about it. Not only that, DHS has put out a warning, a very strict and very serious warning, basically saying that we need all to be prepared for 6 months to a year without food, water, and electricity. So again, you can actually protect all of your devices, your car, your generator, again, with the same kind of devices EMP Shield makes. They block against all three phases of an EMP, E1, E2, and E3, and protects you against a natural event, such as a Carrington event that happened 100 years ago. Plus, that kind of event, it can also protect up against a 228,000 amps. So definitely a great thing to have. And there is still the contest going on. So we have always begged them to do more and more contests every time they give away several devices. These things are not cheap because they do their job. They are official devices, and they are actually being used by different government agencies. They are officially on the DEMSO team helping protect the Texas grid. So it's, again, one of the few items that has a backing like this. Again, multiple ways to enter, including daily bonus entries. Must go to marfugelnews.com/contest. It's easy. All you do is go to marfugelnews.com and add a /contest, and it tells you the rest. Again, you will be able to pick a device after the winner is picked. Again, that is marfugelnews.com/contest, or if you just want to order one, you can get $50 off per device at marfugelnews.com/EMP. Don't tell us that we didn't tell you so. All right. Let's see here. I'm going to go over to see what is in the queue. It looks like we have Amy way down south talking about masks with RFID. I've covered this before, so let's see what this is about. Dex, let's bring in Amy way down south. And while you're doing that, I will hop over to chat, and I'll try to pull up. It looks like there's a video here, an article. Okay, let's see here. And Dex, when you, I've got the article.
Adam, I'm trying to get Amy on right now. I'm trying to get, just 1 second.
Okay, no problem. Thank you. Thanks for the update. Okay, so this is what Amy has suggested. It says reusable cloth masks traced with RFID. I've talked about this briefly. There was a debate about this to say, like, does it exist? Yes, it does exist, but there's certain reasons that it's actually being used. I don't know what the final how the debate finally ended, but we did confirm that it was real in some cases. What they said that this RFID chip technology was for, and it was like 1 in every 10. Sometimes the package would have an actual RFID, and when you ripped open, there was this video going around of this lady opening up one of the disposable masks, like just the paper masks, and what it had in it was like a little chip. Not only that, they scanned that chip with their phone, and it pulled up the information on that chip. So there are two different kinds of RFID. We actually covered this kind of in detail, what those are. One of them is about $20 even to manufacture to like get that chip. And then one of them is way cheaper without the ability to have GPS kind of involved. I believe this is the latter, the cheaper version. They said it was to count wash cycles, and not a lot of people kind of believed that route. Again, that was said as well. Amy, way down south, what is going on?
Hey, yeah, I didn't know that you had talked about the mask, but it's not in every one of them. It's just in a here and there. That's what I seen. But one thing that I wanted to call you about is me and my husband was riding down our road going to the store, and it was white clouds, a lot of them. And there was a space in between the white clouds as we were driving. And me and him looked up, and seen it was either Jupiter or it was wandering stars. In Genesis, it says there's wandering stars, and the sun, moon, and stars, and wandering stars. And I don't know if it was Jupiter, but it had the stripes on it. If there's another planet out there that's got the stripes on it, it could have been that one. But I really feel that, and it was rotating counterclockwise and moving toward the east. And me and my husband tried to chase it down, and it was gone. It was moving.
Now, how big was it?
Me.
What would you compare it to in size? The size of a plane or smaller, the size of a star? And you're saying this is during the day.
During the day, in the middle of the day. And it was probably, you know those bouncy balls that you sit on?
Yeah.
You know, for pregnant women.
Yeah.
Those
The
bouncy balls.
exercise
probably
balls.
2 of those put together.
So you're looking at it. If you held your hand up, how big would it be? The size of your thumbnail, or?
Oh, no. I hold my hand up and I could see the whole thing.
Oh, that's
Plus
creepy.
some.
I wish you would have got pictures
Yeah,
of this, because if you did, you would have had the world
it was
buzzing.
so fast, I couldn't even turn my phone on. I wished I seen it a couple years ago. And the strangest thing is, a woman, I found a video that was months before I seen it, and she said that she seen Jupiter cross West Georgia and go up and go east.
Now, that is, I guess I've
That's
never
what
heard
it
of
is.
I've heard of people saying they see, like, I could see Saturn tonight, or saying I could see Jupiter, but not
No,
like
this
in the
was
sense where it was big and right there in the clouds or something.
It was right there in our face. I couldn't believe it. Me and my husband both looked at each other and both said at the same time, "Did you see that?"
Is your husband there?
And
I thought I heard him in the background.
Yeah, he's here.
Do you mind if I
George.
talk to him for a second?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
I just wanted to get your account too of it. Did you see this as well when you were with Amy?
Yes, I was actually driving. We live in Carrollton, about
West
50
Georgia.
miles out of Atlanta, over in West Georgia. And it come across the cow pasture. I always saw it coming. It looked like about the size of a basketball up there to me.
Now, how fast was
But
it going?
It was
It's
yeah,
moving.
it's going, I don't know, 55 mile an hour or something. It was going faster than I could catch up with it.
And was this in the sky,
Right,
or was
like
this down low by you guys on the road?
No,
No, it was in the
it was up in the sky. I don't know how high up in the sky it was. It could have been 1,000 miles up in the sky. I don't know how far it was up in the sky. It was be hard for me to judge that.
I just wonder if
It was going towards the line.
well, what was your name, by the way? It's nice to meet you, and I always like, if there's couples watching, I always like to meet both of you. Thank you for watching, and thank you
Okay.
guys for calling in tonight.
My name's George.
What was
My
it?
name's George, and we've been watching this George
Oh, hey,
Manus.
nice to meet you, George. So
He's been watching you since you was in front of the board.
that's awesome. Well, thank you guys. I really do appreciate you you watching tonight and every night you can. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Well, nice meeting you, George. And then Amy, it makes me think of one of those scenes out of the movies where, or even a recent movie that I saw where there was a planet coming towards us and they could see it. Or like any sci-fi film where you see kind of a moon that's big in the sky or another planet.
Yeah.
Any movie where they show us on
Yeah.
a different planet and they show that thing floating up in the sky and you can see Jupiter or something like that. I just wonder I wonder what that was. Well, I do believe you.
Well,
So thank you for letting us know.
God put it on my heart. That was a wandering star. And his wandering stars is what, us earthlings call planets.
Yeah,
You know
no.
what I mean?
No, I'm familiar.
Spinning fast counterclockwise and moving to the right.
Well, Amy, what happens is if you say something like that and you now you have a time and a place and when it was and where it was, most likely if other people saw it, they will let us know and they'll end up reporting it to us through Twitter DMs or email.
I think other people saw it, but they just couldn't believe their eyes.
Well,
I really do believe people saw it.
I doubt a lot of people would believe it just because it does sound so crazy. But crazier things have happened, and
it does, and I don't think they'll come forward because they'll think everybody thinks they're crazy.
Exactly. Well, Amy, it's nice meeting you and George, and then George, nice meeting you as well. I hope you guys call in again. Of course, don't be a stranger. And then we will make sure to let you guys know if anybody else comes forward and says they saw it. Because again, I think if we believe what science says, right, which a lot of people don't, we're floating through this universe. What if Amy and George saw a huge object fly by, so big that you could see it with the naked eye during the day? Who knows? Anyways, thank you so much again, Amy and George from Georgia. Thank you so much. Let's go into Life is Better on Stilts. Thank you, Adam. You're awesome. Thank you, Occam's Razor. Thank you, guys. I appreciate all of you guys that have been around for a very long time. There are a lot of new people in the chat, most likely. I believe we picked up, 500 people. I don't know why. Maybe somebody shouted us out or something. Also, thank you to High Impact. I believe if he did end up hosting, I don't know. Thank you so much to all the people that have been here. But if you're new, just make sure you realize when you come in hot on the chat, and we don't talk badly about other people in the chat, even if they're talking badly about me or anybody. We don't talk badly about other people. Just to remind people, we don't talk badly about other creators, period. And we try to keep it positive. You guys can all have your own views, but don't try to force things on other people. And then also just understand that, we do have families watching too. We try to back up what we say, so to make sure. I think this is one thing. I think we need to make information and the stuff that we're talking about, the water cooler stuff, the stuff that you can't talk about with your friends and family, I think we need to make that to the point where people are comfortable talking about it and we can talk about it. Right now, the world and the society is heading in the opposite direction where you are not allowed to talk about something that goes against the grain. That is how we evolved. And not saying physically like fingernails going away or something. I'm saying that is how we mentally evolved and became a more civilized place, is because freedom of expression and freedom of speech. These things are absolutely the most important things on the planet, more important than almost anything else. Because when your freedom of speech is taken away, then you're not even in the same place. You are a slave at that point. So again, everybody's welcome to say, if you do get muted for some reason, you're probably breaking one of just like the golden rules. Don't take it personally. Nobody's going to remember and go, "Oh, you got muted." Everybody gets super defensive because they're adults and they get muted for 5 minutes, mind you. Nobody is going to remember tomorrow. I always try to think about, is anybody going to trip about this tomorrow? No. So again, thank you for all keeping it good over there. And even if you hate me, fine. Just be nice to the other people. I wasn't tardy this time, says Stormy7572. Thank you guys for being on time and being here, period. A dope dwarf, I love your name. Thank you for the lemon, that's seriously appreciated. Tanya12, thank you for the ice cream. Texas Ann, thank you. One Old Hippie, thank you for following. Belinda 007, thank you as well. And Kathy Wade, thank you for joining me on Patreon. Now it's all in the past. Thank you for being the last one out last night. And then Dex, I don't have access to the YouTube side. For whatever reason, it's not connecting. So I will also need that in Screener. Okay, let's get back into the articles. We have a lot more. It says, new chart shows China could overtake the U.S. as the world's largest economy earlier than expected. So what do you think? Do you think that they are going to let China become the largest? I guess by they, I mean the U.S. government, right? Or are there two sides to a government at this point? I guess that's why people consider this such a huge deal, what is going on right now, because they feel like one side or the other is either going to take charge or take it in the rear end. I don't know. China is set to overtake the U.S. as the world's largest economy a few years earlier than anticipated due to the CV pandemic. Oh, isn't that convenient? The U.S. reported last week that gross domestic product in 2020 contracted by 2.3% to $20.93 trillion in current dollar terms. $20 trillion. That makes our stimulus look like chump change. In contrast, China said its GDP expanded by 2.3% last year to 101.6 trillion won. That's about $14.7 trillion, based on an average exchange rate of 6.9 won per US dollar. It says that puts China's economy at about only 6.2 trillion behind the US, down from 7.1 trillion in 2019. It says this divergence in growth is consistent with our view that the pandemic has been a much larger blow to the U.S. economy than China's economy. Yeah. I'm not going to go too much into this. If you want to read the rest of this, here's what I will say, though. Obviously, we have had over 400,000 mom and pop restaurants close. That's just restaurants. Not to mention some of the other businesses. Like, think about businesses that you used to take your kids to, like Family Fun Center. Those basically they can't exist right now. Think about all of the businesses that just really can't open. Think about how their employees were affected, and then also think about, of course, the restaurants that went out of business because of the rules. If they weren't lucky enough to be on an outside where they had an outside deck, then in some places they just couldn't open. Of course, now they're lifting a lot of restrictions, which is super weird because now they say that there's, even worse stuff coming. But think about that. The country and the world is now affected, and they are actually kind of coming up on it. So, with that being said, do you think that they will let them become the biggest? Just look at this from kind of a step back mode. Would the U.S. let any country take the number one spot voluntarily? Or do you think it would go to a conflict before that happens? NASA delays Moonlander awards as Mr. B team moles moonshot program. So actually mulling over the entire thing, if it is even worth it, right? It says NASA last week quietly delayed its plan to award 2 high-profile crewed lunar lander contracts, moving the finish line back 2 months for a crucial program under the T-Man administration's hasty timeline to get astronauts to the moon by 2024. Why do they have a timeline of 2024? Are they preparing for something that is coming in 2029? Do they need to get up to the moon and set up something that launches towards Mars by 2029 or by 2036? If you don't know why I am saying those specific days, then ask somebody in chat. With short funding from Congress and a new administration focused on more pressing national issues like speed bumps, the move was expected. I mean, you have to have speed bumps. Otherwise, people would drive the speed limit. Right? I don't know what that was either. Elon Musk's SpaceX program, a team of aerospace giants led by Jeff Bezos, Blue Origin, and Leidos owned Dynetics, sorry, not to confuse that with won a combined $967 million in seed funding from NASA last year to develop rivaling concepts for a human lunar landing system. It's the space agency's first effort to spend money on an astronaut moon landers since the Apollo program in the never-happened 70s. Last Wednesday, NASA told the 3 contractors that an extension to their development contracts will be required, picking a new award date of April 30th. Under the T-Man administration's timeline, the agency had planned to pick 2 of the 3 bidders in late February, giving a stamp of approval for 2 systems that would inevitably carry humans to the moon. Meanwhile, just so you know, China is still moving forward with their plans to go to the moon. So just take that with a grain of salt. Space Command to expand network of allies that help monitor orbital traffic. It says to get intelligence about what is happening in orbit, U.S. Space Command works with a close-knit group of allies and private companies. It says the command is now looking to expand its network of data sharing partners as activities in space grow, and the Pentagon worries about Chinese weapons targeting U.S. satellites. So it says, how do we create the space picture? How do we know who's in the domain and operating there? Asked Major General Deanna Burt, who commands the multinational space operations arm of U.S. Space Command. It says Burt runs the Combined Force Space Component Command, which oversees the Combined Space Operations Center at Vandenberg Air Force. And it says at the... why even an acronym for this? You know, because we're at the CISPOC. The CISPOC. CISPOC. I work at CISPOC. Hey, sis. Spock. Crews from the United States and allied countries monitor space. It says in an interview with Space News, Burt said one of the challenges for Space Command is able to capture, get this, a complete view of what is going on in space, which has become a complex enterprise of civilian government, military, and private sector activities. It says the military has precise intelligence for the air, land, and sea domains, and it says, quote, we have to create the same picture for space, Burt said. Dex, what do you think about this? This is intelligence in space. By the way, the Space Force was now added into the intelligence community, which a lot of people did not know. Again, this was something that's rather new in the last few weeks. So they are in the same kind of boat as, you know, CIA, NSA, that kind of thing. Dex, are you there?
Hello, Adam. I'm here. So which specifically were you asking about?
So you weren't paying attention at all?
No, not at all.
So are you just...
No, we have some fantastic callers I'm trying to get on.
Are you watching another channel?
Wait.
Dex,
yeah, I'm watching all the channels on YouTube.
You're watching High Impact Flicks, aren't you? I caught you again. By the way, check out Brian. He's great.
Yeah, he is great.
No, we're talking about the Space Command to expand network of allies that help monitor orbital traffic. So, and I just told them about how it is now in the intelligence community as well.
Yeah, well, isn't it interesting though that they tapped SpaceX for that? I mean, of all, you know, it's not that it's surprising, but it isn't surprising, right? So that's one of the companies they decide to tap, you know, for Space Force. And, you know, we've talked quite a bit about what we think some of their technology, especially Starlink, not just what they say it is, but what we've also learned from other things that say what it can do for them, that they're going to look to SpaceX to help them.
Well, so obviously, you know, there's a lot of intertwining of these networks, but it looks like we're going to have the ultimate surveillance state, including you got satellite and, of course, now new technology in our own homes that is going to monitor every single one of our movements, every single direction. Doesn't matter where you go, you will have something that knows where you are, especially with the new technology, which, again, has anybody felt different since some of this new stuff has gone into play? I feel I have. Anyways, I'll talk about that on another episode. Well, Dex, thank you. Again, tell Brian hi if you're in his chat right now. Thanks.
No problem, Adam.
Okay. Oh, and tell him that he has great content, and it's probably worth watching over mine. Okay, just let him know that. Okay.
I got you. It's
Thanks.
all good. Much love.
Yeah. Just kidding. On the real, Brian actually probably hosted us tonight, so I don't know if he's watching, but hello, and thank you for the host. All right, and I really do appreciate him, and you guys, if you haven't checked him out, please go ahead and do so. All right, let's... Koa D. Is this real? Hold on here. Koa D says, gonna catch the replay. Good night, fam. Thank you. With a massive super chat. I don't know if it was meant to be that massive. Koa D, thank you so much for the $100 super chat. That is rare over on YouTube, so thank you. Again, thank you, Koa D. That is appreciated. Thank you for supporting independent journalism here. Beth Momiko. Thank you as well. You can always write a message with your super chat, but it looks like you did a super sticker. That is awesome. Thank you. I didn't see how cute it was. And S. Nort says, you are all great. Glad to catch you tonight. I needed this tonight. Thank you, S. Nort, and thank you for being here basically every night. I seriously appreciate it. I know that it's not great for your schedule, or I'm assuming it's not. The streets of heaven are made of gold. It seems people on earth value concrete more than immortality. Keep your eyes on the prize, says Dustin Layton. Thank you, Dustin, for your support. And then Eric, the original copper-colored Anuelo Maze, says, nothing. You could have wrote a message there. Eric, thank you so much for your support, though. And then Liz LaMarche, evening, Fugel fam. My favorite way to end the day. Stay safe, East Coast, with snowstorm. I know y'all got your preps. Thank you, Liz LaMarche. I appreciate your support. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody over on YouTube, the Fugel fam. Christian Moore says, hey, Marf, Dex Mods. Fam, my faves. Not much hope. It helps. But do you think about the 127 Knight to bear arms may be gone? Just the beginning. Be safe. I was trying to read how that was put. I mean, it looks like that's what they're trying to do. Obviously, I mean, I say let's look at the observable facts, and the observable facts, not teenager facts. Oh, those are facts. A fax machine. It's a machine that produces faxes. Lola Cafe, always enjoy the show. Thank you so much. Gone Girl, what in the world? What are you doing? And you started the show off like that, I'm assuming. Thank you, and thank you. Gone Girl, 777, and Koa D. Thank you, guys. That is seriously appreciated more now than ever. All right, and let's get over to the next caller. Again, if you guys want to protect yourself in the cyber world, there is also an option. We wanted to let you guys know that there is a new sale going on. Again, actually, I'm sorry. It might not actually be kicked in. It's actually probably already on there. So make sure you go to check out marfugelnews.com/VPN. And I believe that it is the full 70% right now off of three-year plan. I believe there's a smaller plan that's going on sale soon. But you do all the time get the 70% off on the 3-year plan of a virtual private network. The reason why you might need this in the future is because you might not have access to things. If you especially look into things that maybe they don't want you to, they could mark your IP address and say, hey, we're not going to let you talk or live or breathe or have children, more than one at least in the future. NordVPN, marfugelnews.com/VPN. Use the special savings code, Marfugel. All right, Dex, let's go into the next call, and then we'll talk about Elon Musk says he wired up a monkey's brain to play video games. And it looks like the next caller is, again, 224-400-MARF. Dana, first-time caller, talking about EMPs.
Yes.
What's up? How are you doing?
Yes. Horribly good, terribly fine, all the time.
I love that. Horribly good, terribly fine, all the time.
All the time.
Yes,
sir.
I might steal that, Dana. So thank you.
It's all good. It's all good. I've been saying it now for about 3-4 years. So I was the guy who came up with Sakatumi back when I was just in elementary school in Los Angeles.
Wait,
But
everybody thinks they came up with it, but maybe you did. Maybe you were the guy who was like, sock it to me.
well, we were playing ABC Unified School District. That's part of the talk show about what they used to laugh and used to be on, and then it went from school to school after we started saying it there. What it was, we were playing tetherball. And there was this one kid would act like he was going to hit it, but he would never hit the doggone ball. He'd just back up and act like he was going to hit it time and time again. Finally, I got mad at him. I said, "No, why don't you just sock it to me? Sock it to me. Sock it to me." And all the other kids started saying it.
That is actually
And that's how
really
it got
funny.
started.
That is awesome. I love and it may have just spread throughout the entire world, and then of course, laughing. I wonder who came up with. You didn't come up with no whammies, did you? Because that would be a big
No.
deal. All right. Well, hey. So back to the point.
Well, anyway.
Putting us in the dark.
Yes. Well, me and my wife have been bothered about this Chinese buying property there in Jamaica and that making their airport and buying property in Canada and can move anything they want to it, and buying all this property in Oklahoma. And they're buying thousands and thousands of acres for 2-3 times the amount of what the property is really worth. What's to stop them from drilling a hole and coming underneath up to Oklahoma? Or what's stopped them launching a missile, building their own missile right in Oklahoma, which is easy to do. Heck, I used to make my own rocket fuel when I was a kid. And
Did you wait?
launch their own missile.
Did you
up
used
into
to say?
space.
Did you used to say? Rocket to me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You didn't get my dad joke.
Yes, I did. I did. I read. I was saying, I'm sorry. I apologize.
Oh no, I
Tolerable.
dad joke. So they're buying property all over the
Oh,
world. They're buying property all over the world, including California, buying the ports. I didn't know about Jamaica, so you actually you just taught me something there.
Well, it was Jamaica or the Bahamas. It's right there, and they were talking about. Someone was talking about them building a base, airport right there
Weird.
of some sort. And these were other friends, that we've been talking to all over around where we live, and we can see them, putting an EMP up into space right there in Oklahoma. It was what? It only take 30, maybe 45 seconds from taking off to, going off. And so that's why we were worried about the EMP on that.
It won't let me write China. It's doing Ina. I don't know why. That's super weird.
But you can see how it would cut off, if you draw a straight line from Canada all the way down through Oklahoma, you're going to end up over there in Jamaica. And what's to stop them from separating the country after an EMP goes off?
Well, nothing.
What's to stop them from, then you're going to see the movie Red Dawn all over again, right?
And not to mention now they're working with hypersonics, which we covered just a couple days ago.
Right, exactly.
So a super EMP.
Well, my dad used to work for Lockheed Martin, and he built something for them back in the early 60s, because in the 40s he was on some kind of weird craft. He was just 17 years old, and he was out in Arizona, and he watched in July of that year, watched two of them flying by, and then all of a sudden it looked like they collided. One came down where he was at in the desert, and one went towards New Mexico. And he was with an old prospector out there. And it came down about 1.5 miles or a mile close to them, so they went to it. And my dad seen what was in it, looked at the thing what was in it, and he started moving all over again. And so he got off there, and he found a piece of metal of that, and he took it out in the desert and buried it. Well, quite a few years later, he went to work for Lockheed Martin. the late 50s, early 60s. And mid-60s, he finally found where he had buried that piece of metal out in the desert. That piece of metal, you could take a drill bit and drill right through it and come back up, and there would be no hole. All the kids on the block used to talk about that. And so that woman the other day, talking about her dad working for Lockheed, that kind of made me feel like I needed to call you and tell you about this. And when he built this certain little thing for him, it built up enough energy, electric, well, it started glowing. And they gave him the nickname the Dumb Farmer out there, and they took that stuff out to Groom Lake. Well, later on, they found out that he had this piece of metal, and they came in and cut the locks right off our garage, went inside our garage and took this piece of metal out. And then they fired my dad and blackballed him.
You're saying that your dad took a special piece of metal from Groom Lake?
No, he took a special piece of metal where a UFO had crashed out in the Arizona desert the same night that one crashed in New Mexico.
And got fired and blackballed from working in the government.
For working for Lockheed because of that.
Wow.
He brought that piece of metal home after he finally found it about 15, 20 years later. He finally found the piece of metal where he had buried it about a half a mile away from the wreck. And my dad, when he went aboard this thing, he recognized the motor, what was in it, I don't know if you'd call it a motor. And he said it looked like a gyroscope in one way, and when he spun it, it started spinning, and all of a sudden it was going full blast once again, and the thing came off the ground about 7 feet.
Wait, hold on. Wait, go back. So aboard the thing that they were building at Lockheed, or are you saying he was aboard?
No, the thing what crashed in the desert out there at the same time the Roswell incident happened. The same night.
And what year was this? This is back in
1947. In 47.
Do you believe your dad, knowing what I guess, do you think that your dad was all part of that?
We didn't really believe him at first until he found that piece of metal, because we'd always tease him about it. And my dad was a prospector. He was with an old prospector out there, and he was known for mineralogy. He self-taught mineralogist. He could look at a rock and tell you what's in it, and pretty well down to what was actually in it, you know. And he got hired on from them, I guess, to see what all he knew. Well, they goaded him into building one of these motors that was on that same ship, because they said he couldn't build it. Well, he ended up using about $1 million worth of their parts building this thing, and he built one in it about the size of a 55-gallon can, and it started. When he started it, they didn't have anything that would shut it down, but it would lift up off the ground about 7 feet. And if you have any type of metal on you and you walk towards it, it would keep moving away from you. It'd stay 7 feet away from any type of metal, except for a couple of different types I can name. But they tried cornering the building right there in Los Angeles. They tried cornering it in the corner of the building with a couple of forklifts, and they tore the whole corner of the building out. It just... And so every one of those stories that I used to listen to my dad tell, and all those different scientists that I used to hang out with when I was a kid, I listened to every one of those stories and that. And
this is very this is very fascinating. I would love to talk to you more off camera, and then again,
right?
Yeah. So you and. Again, if you know, there's no telling you from Adam, right? No pun intended, but
right.
If your dad was telling the truth, wouldn't that be just the biggest trip? And then like that story, you know,
yes, it would.
Of them ripping out a corner of a warehouse, like that just seems like
Well,
so real.
Lockheed Martin proved that it was real because my son was working in he wanted to go through aerospace and wanted to go to the moon and build apartment buildings. But he was working. We didn't realize it was Lockheed Martin for the schools around here, and Mr. Flowers went to work for Lockheed Martin. We told him not to say a word of what my son said to him because that would probably get him blackballed. Well, it got him blackballed, and then they blackballed my son. And everyone that my son was in school with has not found a job in that field.
Well, hey, we're out of time. I'd love to talk to you again. How many stories do you think you have of your dad's?
I used to hang out with him all the time when we'd be out in the deserts.
So you kind of bring your kid to work kind of thing?
Yeah. Well, no, it's just my dad would always bring me because I was a daddy's boy. I had to be there. I was the smart kid of the family.
Well, hey, maybe you should call back in. We try to keep regular callers to once a week, but if you call back in and tell us a different story or call in on Unidentified Fridays, I'd love to hear some more stories. We are out of time, though. We've got to keep a schedule under 2 hours. But thank you so much for calling in, and I do get what you're saying about Oklahoma. I'm fascinated by what those stories are, whether we can confirm them or not. Like, I love hearing about them because I do hear a lot of stories from older vets and about the old days of Groom Lake and Area 51, and it's nice when some of them start to line up and you go, holy moly, this might be real.
Yeah.
So I did hear about a second crash.
I had just about the same neighborhood childhood. Yes.
All right. Well, hey, we got to go here now, but thank you so much for calling in.
All right.
Again, I would love for you to call back again, and let's see here. Dana, thank you. Is it Dana or is that right?
It's Dana.
All right. Thank you, Dana.
I'd like to talk to you off camera too about some of these things.
All right. Well, thank you, Dana. And is it okay if we keep your information?
Yes, please.
All right. Thank you so much. That was Dana from Arkansas. Thank you very much for calling in. On deck is Frank, another first-time caller, talking about sun and strange objects, and actually has pictures of it, calling from Arizona. But first, again, awesome call. The thing is you don't know. And again, Dana or anybody else could make up a million stories. The thing about his stories is, it's like the movie Big Fish, right? If you've seen Big Fish with Ethan or whatever his name is, in the end, it kind of, interludes to, in the end, he was actually telling the truth about all of it. I wonder, because now we are finding out so much, and there was so much that went on back then, and their way of doing it was just to deny it and to just say, hey, look over here. And now we're finding out that there has been, I mean, of course, there's been technology that's way beyond ours, and where did it come from? So it's just kind of weird, especially with like Ann Lynn talking about the cover-up. Ann Lynn called in and talked about the how they said it was swamp gas, when really they saw this huge ship, and Ann and Lynn, they're not going to lie. They know what they saw. We had tons of different stories so far, especially on Unidentified Friday. If you like this show, you'll like that even more. We talk about sightings. We talk, everybody submits videos. If you would like to submit a video, you can go to marfugelnews.com at the very top, and you will see that it says play my video. You can either click on that tab, or you can just go to marfugelnews.com/play my video. All right. Now, Elon Musk says that he has wired up a monkey's brain to play video games. Not surprised, it is Elon Musk. It says Elon Musk says that one of his startups has a monkey with wires going into its brain that's able to play video games. Elon is nuts. It says he's a happy monkey, said Musk, the chief executive officer of electric vehicle maker Tesla. It says the backer of numerous other futuristic see if I can get that sized right. Numerous other futuristic projects, including Neuralink Corporation, a startup focused on developing a brain-computer interface. It says he said the videos of the plugged-in simians would be released soon, perhaps in around a month. This is stuff we might actually see here. We're going to see this soon. Monkeys playing video games with wires coming out of their head. Is somebody playing it for them? Are they just controlling their fingers? That's what I want to know. Like, do they have a remote control for people? Because otherwise, I don't think... How many people are going to want a Neuralink if it ends up being, you know, something that can be overridden or hacked and make you Weekend at Bernie's? I'm sorry. I would not. And you will have, again, in the future, they say you'll have Google in your brain. So wouldn't that make you the smartest person alive if you had Google built in? Somebody asks you a question, says, hey, what's 5 times 400,056,000 blah, blah, blah. And you're like, that's 1.6.2 pi trillion. You would have that all built in. If somebody says, how, you know, where does the snow leopard live? Oh, it lives in the parts of the Himalayan desert or blah, blah. You know, there is no such thing as a Himalayan desert, but you get my point. Is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? Part of what makes us human is the wonder, the mystery, the fact that we don't know everything. The fact that we're not perfect is what makes us human. I don't want to be perfect, I guess. Do you? Do you want to know everything? I don't. Blind Fear, thank you so much. Again, I appreciate you you being here tonight. Island by the Sea, Kathleen Sanchez. Good Witchy. Life Better on Stilts. Stop, Listen, Think is here tonight. Kimberly Elnamo says we would all win on Jeopardy. Yeah, would Jeopardy be a thing? Would any game show of that matter, trivia game show would not even be a thing anyways. It says no thank you. Everybody's saying Jammer 1, Texas A&M, question everything. All say no thank you, would not like to be hooked up. Bear Claus says no, absolutely not. Kathleen McCarthy says bad Tesla. 3 more. I want to know everything. 3 more. Okay, so we have some people that say, yeah, I would love to know everything. The more you know, the less bliss. That's what I'm saying. Sierra 5 says something that I think more people would say. Says, poor monkey. Think about it. They're cutting up the back of the brain. Where is... I'm surprised PETA is like not up his... have you noticed how there's not much of the whole animal cruelty thing anymore? It's moved from now human cruelty. Has it not? No, you never hear about like animal cruelty anymore. You never hear about these CEOs can do whatever they want. You don't really hear about the stem cell stuff anymore or anything. They've just totally changed the way we think. In 10 years, it's completely flopped again. It's just nuts. Anyways, blockbuster snowstorm to strike New York, Philadelphia, which actually we just had comments in the chat about this. Folks are going through this right now. It says the same storm system that has already brought 8 inches of snow in Chicago will drop a healthy dose of snow all the way to the Canadian border on Sunday. It says the low-pressure area that will bring the heavy snow, strong winds, and potential for coastal flooding in the Northeast will spend Sunday getting organized in the Mid-Atlantic region. Where snow is falling in the nation's capital, Washington was poised to receive more snow in one day than its city has seen in 2 winters. So in one day, more snow than they have seen in 2 years. So that is definitely a difference. It says the winter storm has a history of spawning wild weather across the lower 48. Yeah, the lower 58 states. Sorry, I traveled into the future, where that includes China and Russia. First driving an atmospheric river ashore in California last week, with extreme snow totals topping 100 inches in the Sierra Nevada. From there, it brought severe thunderstorms to the desert southwest and tornado activity to Oklahoma. Well, a dust storm in its wake caused visibility to plummet Saturday in parts of Texas. It says now the main low-pressure area is transferring its energy offshore into a coastal system, also known as a nor'easter. That will intensify and move northward up towards the coast. Winter storm warnings for heavy snow were in effect from the mountains of North Carolina through southwestern Connecticut, while watches extend all the way to extreme northern Maine. So to sum all of that up, there is weird weather pretty much everywhere. We're going to be following it all week long. Of course, everybody on the East Coast, I hope you guys stay safe. I hope not for the end of the world or anything like that. I just hope that you guys have supplies. I hope you guys have flashlights. I hope you have candles. I hope you have those kind of things unless you lose power. I hope you have shovels ready and things like this. People don't think about it until the time comes. We are a reactive type of people instead of a proactive type of people, especially here in the United States. I won't speak for other countries. I know there's a lot of other countries, like Japan is proactive. They'll sign a check for $1 trillion because it benefits their great-great-grandchildren. Whereas we are like on a scale from 1 to 10 for the Cascadia subduction zone earthquake, which will happen and send a possible 100-foot wave over the entire West Coast and wipe out everybody. We're on a 1 to 10 scale. We're not even to a 1 in preparedness. So we're just going to wait until it happens and then say, oh, well, the life is irreplaceable, but we sure can build bridges pretty well. Oh, what? Put iron in the brick buildings so they don't crumble with people inside them? Yeah, right. Who does that? Oh, the Japanese do that? Oh, well, Japan's better. They're nice. They're better. Anyways, moving on. Russia, population shrinks for the first time in 15 years. Weird. Experts attribute decline to this, which has seen many die. Well, migration, I almost thought that said Megatron, and low birth rates also have played a factor. Russia's population shrank by about 500,000 last year, its first contraction in 15 years, the country's statistics agency said on Friday. Russia has now a population of 146.2 million, according to the newspaper Nezaevaya Gazeta. Citing the agency, experts attributed the decline mainly to this event right now where we're all covering. It says there were 229,700 more deaths between January and November 2020 than in the same period of the previous year. An excess mortality rate of more than 13%, the agency said. It says and then in other news, the company that produces the Russian poison has produced 220,000 more units than last year. Weird, right? Russian President Vladimir Putin has long called for greater efforts towards population growth. Last year, he blamed the trend on low incomes. Because the poor don't multiply. Moving on, China's demographic time bomb quickly ticking down. China's declining demographics are gloomier than previously estimated, a life and death challenge for the world's second largest economy policymakers have so far failed to address. Preliminary provincial findings of a nationwide census now underway indicate that a population growth in 2019 plunged to a 60-year new low, despite Beijing's move in 2016 to abandon its notorious one-child policy. It says the 14.65 million newborns recorded across China last year were a third lower than the annual average throughout the 1990s and 2000s, and the strict population control policy was still in place. Initial nationwide census findings now. In other news, it says that they have 14.65 million new recruits into their military. All right, moving on. Dex, let's get our next caller lined up. If you guys want to protect yourself against prying eyes into your phone, or even just your location, you guys can look at an EDEC bag. An EDEC bag is basically a Faraday bag as well. It can protect all signals going in and out, so your phone can't send out and can't receive Again, they even make a utility bag as well that actually has a window so you can still access your phone, well, blocking your location and other things. You might not exactly 100% need this now, but a lot of us believe that you will need it very soon. marfugelnews.com/eDeck. Use the savings code MARFUGL to get 10% off. All right, thank you guys for supporting us, especially with any of the affiliates we mentioned here tonight. If you have any problem finding any of them, like EMP Shield, Nord, or the eDeck bags, you can actually go to the website. On the right side of the page, you'll see right there, all of them are actually on the right side, including if you want to donate via PayPal or use our Amazon link. All right, let's go back into this real quick, and we're going to be going over to our website, and I'm going to be showing you that, but let's get the next caller. Dex, and again, do you have anything to say about any of the previous articles that we just went over?
Hey, Adam. Yeah, I'm trying to get the next caller on, and I did. I had a couple of things to think about. One, first off, will the monkey be playing Donkey Kong? That's the first question I have. Second is when we write checks, or I should say when Japan writes checks for their grandchildren, we write checks, but we make our grandchildren pay for it. That's the difference. Right? That's
pretty good.
Yeah. And I had another one, but I can't remember. But yeah, I'm trying to get Frank on right now, so give me 1 second.
Okay. Thank you for getting Frank on. And to Frank, thank you for being patient with our system there.
Hello.
Hey, Frank. How are you doing?
Good. What's up, Adam?
We are fantastic. By the way, Jesse, I'll get to you as well. And then, Frank, what are you calling about tonight? It looks like you have a couple pictures here. Is that correct?
Yes, I sent you a couple pictures pertaining to the caller you had earlier, talking about they had seen a planet shoot through the daytime sky. There's two images I sent you. The image that has basically almost looking like a moon over a couple houses. You see that? Basically, it was about about 6. Actually, it says it on the picture, 6:10 in the morning, and getting ready for work, and the mountains, and the sun obviously comes up in the east, and
you're cutting out, Frank.
1 second.
Did you walk too far from your house?
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you much better now. Or I can tell the difference.
Okay, awesome. Sorry
so
about that.
What am I looking at? I see houses with what looks like a moon or sun above it, but I'm guessing that's not the moon or sun.
So basically, the direction that you're looking at there, straight out the picture, would be west. It's actually directly headed towards Vegas, in Bullhead City, right there at that picture. Sun hadn't came up, and basically 180 degrees from what that picture's taken of would be where the sun would be, yet it hadn't crept up over the mountains yet. And it tripped me out because the night before there was a full moon, which I had taken a look at, and the moon had already gone down past the mountains. And so when I get up, I see this out of the corner of my eye. I'm loading up the car to get ready to go for work. And I go, wait a minute, that's not the moon. And I had to take a double look, and the thing's as smooth as a cue ball. No kind of craters, no nothing, right? And this thing basically was taking they said that theirs was moving 55 miles per hour. I couldn't, or whatever, I couldn't say it was that fast, put it this way. I went back in the house to grab some more tools. No more than 10 minutes, I come back out of the house, and that thing's dipped back behind those mountains and really tripped me out. So I caught this. I want to say that was in 2018. Both of these images were in 2018.
So hold on here. I was thinking, I was thinking in my head, he's going to say this is yesterday or a week ago. So the last caller said that this was a couple years ago, and you're saying this was a couple years ago, and you actually produced a picture of what may have been what they saw. That's a trip. This is why I say, we get people that call in or check that out. I mean, this matches the description too of what they said they saw.
I mean, it wasn't the moon because obviously, I mean, I'm a stargazer anyways. You see craters, you see all, the moon sticks out. This thing was as sharp as a cue ball. I play pool as well. So my eyes don't fool. You know, I guess the eyes can deceive you, of course, but I would have to say not that morning. You know, so it was a really trip. That's why I stopped and took the image, and it was a trip because I wanted to tell my coworker who I was going to pick up like 20 minutes after that, but I couldn't get to his house in time to be able to show him because it dipped back behind those mountains and it disappeared.
And you show him the picture.
I can't tell whether it.
You show him the picture and he goes, "Oh, okay, dude, it's the moon," and nobody believes you.
Yeah,
but
right.
when
and
you
I'm
see
like,
it,
oh. So I had to. I blew it up for him, and he actually. We took many trips because basically that's Bullhead City. We're on the border of Nevada and Arizona and California for that matter, and it's right there where all the casinos are in Laughlin. You hit that back highway, it takes about 90 minutes to get to Las Vegas. And on that stretch, we've seen many things. I can go on and on for days about your UFO sightings. I actually got turned on to your site by Secure Team 10 years back when he dropped your video. And obviously now the poor guy got whatever happened to him. But I've seen many different things that way. But this was amongst the weirdest things I've ever seen.
Can I just say
I'm a sky guy, so
isn't it sad?
That wasn't normal.
Don't you feel like we have a huge gap in YouTube where he used to be?
It really sucks. I mean, it's I don't know, man. People can deceive you all day long, but it didn't seem like that guy was a bad guy or that he deserved to get wiped off the way he did. That's for sure.
Well, he was entertaining. A lot of people say that he did this or he did that. I guess my thought of it was that maybe, I try to look at everybody's side of things, and he had a lot of pressure on him. He had a lot of news agencies writing about his stuff, and if he didn't produce the best, biggest thing, he would be insulted and things like that. And so there was a couple things where he did somebody's voice.
He was gaining attention.
But
when you be the little guy starting to gain attention, you're going to have a higher news source probably try to, discredit you so they can kind of get you out of the way.
Well, but
they see it as competition.
I think Tyler did make mistakes, but if you can own up to the mistakes and just move past them, I bet you his fans will see past that. I've seen so much hate on his thing, and people have gone so vitriol and cancel culture against him when we don't know what is going through his head. There's also folks, my mom, after in her late 20s, all of a sudden had mental issues that weren't there earlier. And I'm not saying that Tyler does, but there's things that happen to people that change them, and maybe he's going through something that none of us know about. So I just don't try to judge based on what's out there about the videos. People made a lot of hate videos on him, and it really does bother me because you
never really know unless you're talking to the guy.
Exactly.
Himself.
I think that, my personal opinion is that if there is something hiding there, he should just say it and get past it. We all have mistakes. We've all done wrong. We've all, we're none of us are perfect. And, just own it and move on. Mute and move on.
Well, and that gives a shout out to you guys too. All the obstacles that you guys got to go through, you and Dex, to keep the show active. I mean, you guys go through quite a bit, and some people might give you some negative feed on that. But
I have hate. There's hate videos.
If you guys didn't, we wouldn't have it. We wouldn't have Marfa.
You just have to keep going. There is not one single person. One thing I think too is that the hate videos bother him more than anybody, because he always makes a response video or he used to make a response video to everything said, and it's like,
sure,
you can't. You can't focus on
it, man, for sure.
You can't focus on the negative.
Yeah, that's negativity drawing you down for sure. Positive is the only way to go.
Exactly. Well, hey, thank you for watching. Which, by the way, that's bringing it full circle. The video that he's talking about, the Secure Team 10 posted, was the Hawaii false missile alert in 2018. So thank you. You've been watching 3 years.
Yes, it was.
3 years. Thank you for that, and thank you for sharing the pictures. Appreciate that. We're going to put this on the website. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
The only other thing, I know you're running out of time. Take a look at that other one. The other one is an image of the sun, And basically, I snapped it going down the Colorado River towards California one day. And it's a trip to me because that's one of the only clouds that was in the immediate sky, and it was covering the sun. It's got like a black haze at the bottom, totally trippy, almost like an oil slick at the bottom of the cloud, tripped out, and it's got a couple holes in it. One of the holes that you'll see
weird
looks like it goes right through the sun, and then you can see behind it, and you can see some mini clouds behind that. So take a look at that on your own time or something like that, or the people could look at it on the link or whatnot.
Oh my gosh, it looks like the little fire character from Transformers. I can't remember his name. Yes, I totally get what you're saying. Well, the cool thing is, again, your photos here, Frank, are going to be shared on the marfugelnews.com, so anybody can go and investigate and check these out. If you saw what Frank saw, then please let us know and send us pictures. Again, Frank, you have a great night. Be safe, be prepared, and Marf out.
Right on, Marf. Take it easy.
That was Frank. Again, great story, great caller. As always, awesome people out there. Nurse Betty is added to the list of Ninjet givers there. I hope that is huge. Thanks to you and Dex for all your hard work bringing the truth/news to the people. Nurse Betty, you don't have to do that. Again, thank you, and thank you. Thank you for supporting independent journalism. Thank you for supporting us. Dex, thanks you as well. I am absolutely sure of that. Churhonky Bear, thank you. I love Dosh Hounds. The truth is out there. Press hold. Red Storm. Right now, we are funding building this whole thing. So we don't ask for anything, and don't ever feel like you're required to or need to. You can just as easily give a ice cream or anything else. I love Jesus Forever. Thank you for the lemon. Deadpool, thank you so much for 7 lemons. Lemon Essence, thank you for the lemon essence. Thank you. And then let's see here. Nurse Betty, by the way, you are on a list of very few. We're making this special art project. So we might have to cut the end off. I know that you're still on the first one, and then start another one. And then if you guys can, support everybody around, and the mods rotate links. I hope you guys support art websites, like Jaystone has an art website. If you guys want to post the link for that as well, if you guys want to buy some of Jaystone's art or any of our mods that end up doing anything, make sure to support Trinity YouTube channel, WV, Jaystone YouTube channel, Bones YouTube channel, whole list of people. Chance Paladin has a D-Live and website. Make sure to support all the mods as well. Gas Electric Barefooter, thank you, says Matt. Wow, Marf can take the rest of the week off. Unfortunately, no, we cannot. We have a lot of work to do and not a lot of time. Let's see here. Somebody said John X is on Patreon. John X is still on TikTok and all sorts of other things. Again, if a lot of people are disappeared, and it's just really sad. Some people would rather have, no matter what they're saying, would rather have the ability to choose to listen, and that's not an ability you have anymore. Gunny Herd, thank you so much. Eric, God's Plan. William Fugel, thank you so much. Awesome name. Press on hold. Miss Marf is in here, my wife. Thank you for watching. Thank you, hun, for watching more of the shows, and thank you for just being more active and trying to help push me up. And I love you with all my heart, and I'm sorry it's been super stressful lately, and I just appreciate you being there, and I couldn't do it without you. So thank you so much. We have our family problems too. We have our, we have 3 kids. We have stress. We have family problems. Again, thank you so much. I have 4 kids, but one is grown. I think about the little ones. All right, let's see here. Let's get into it, Dex. Let's talk about the website and the stuff that we can't really go over.
Yeah, and we have one more caller too when we're ready for that.
Yeah, no problem. So can you tell them how to access all the extra stuff, and then I'll pull it up?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a lot of content that is on our website, and we sometimes show the headlines on that stuff, but it's a lot of the things that we're not going to have time for, or we can't dive into just for various reasons on some of the sensitivity of these topics. So go take a look at the website. We try to put together a lot more information. We can only get so much out in the short amount of time that we're on air. And there's so much more that you may need to know about. So make sure you go to marfugelnews.com, click on the thumbnail for the show. And when you scroll down, you'll see this, your more content or web, content that was only on the web. And it's usually right before the callers. And you'll see a lot of extra articles that are right there for you guys to take a look at. So lots of different subjects, lots of different topics, mostly things that we can't talk about on the show or things we don't have enough time to get to.
This keeps us safe and it keeps you informed. So again, right here, and then you'll see there's a lot of, there's a little bit of the edgier stuff in there. We are also asking out and just putting it out there for somebody who is experienced writer, or if you are a journalist yourself and you want to work with us, I would be glad to receive your articles and things like that and share them with the world if they're good. So again, can't guarantee we'll put them on, but if we did that, then everybody would just, write love letters and say, hey, you told me you'd put it on. So if you have an article you want to write about something and you feel passionate, I'd love to share your view with the rest of the Fugel fam. You are a part of this. Every one of you. You are, I don't consider a subscriber a sub. I consider you a human being. Every last one of you that has pressed that button, that's another human being sitting in a household somewhere watching. I feel that is incredibly important to remember. YouTubers, especially when they're small, they get focused on, I need to hit 1,000 or 10,000 or whatever it is. If you have 100, that's 100 people in 100 households around the world that are watching you. If it's 10 people, it is 10 people. And I have noticed that the most successful YouTubers are always the ones who say thank you for every one. Look at Peter Lundgren. He has surpassed us by 4 times. He's now 500,000 subscribers or something. Well, watch. He does videos and camera stuff. That guy I watched, and I was like his 8th subscriber. He thanked me. But I've watched him thank people when he's like 33 people. I'm just so blessed. I'm so amazed. 65 people. I'm so amazed. And he did it every video until people told him to stop. He is now at 500,000 and he still says thank you. And he just can't believe that he's there. Those are the people that succeed, not the people that are jealous of other people because they're bigger. Size doesn't matter. Again, it's the people that are watching. Those people matter. So thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody that supports. Thank you that people that support by sharing. Thank you, people that support by going to different links. Okay.
Speaking of sharing, Adam, just make sure everybody knows about our other channel and the shorts that we put over there. I know a lot of folks have been sharing them, but a lot of folks have trouble sometimes sharing a large show like this and getting a point across. So we try to put together short clips on Marfugel News on YouTube, and that's really easy for you guys to share. And it'd be fantastic if everyone goes over there and grabs some of the shorter clips and shares them with everybody. And in addition to this show.
And when you go over there and all Love Mob, our own channel, which a lot of you go, oh, I'm already subscribed, who cares? I would check, because they do these cleanups and they say, oh, you haven't watched it because we haven't, there was periods of times where we didn't use it, but again, we are now going to revamp it again. Make sure to go do that. Go over there and check out Marfugel News. I don't know what my computer is doing. I think Alt or Control or something is stuck down again. It's stupid.
And if you want to check those, the other supers in screener, we got a good one and a big one in there. We want to make sure we don't miss.
Okay, thank you. It looks like, again, let's get our next caller on. After I do this, I'm going to head over. Let's see here. And something happened to the screener. Here we go. Okay, so thank you. And again, thank you guys. It's good nights like this that make up for some of the worst nights. So again, it's not always this generous. So thank you guys for supporting us tonight. Dawn Sowersby, thank you so much. The snowstorm took out my power for 5 days. cell reception for 3, and collapsed my tortoise's enclosure. Thankfully, we invested in a generator, says Ilea. Ilea, I don't know. I don't know if you ended up doing it because we were in your ear telling you to, but either way, it's good to have a generator, and I hope you guys do. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers says, hi there, everyone. Jesus saves. Thank you. Thank you again. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. You'll like some of the previous stuff. Jesse, that I did tell you I was going to get back to you. I wish we could super chat on the replays. Jesse, I don't know. You can't do that, no. But thank you so much for watching them and share those replays. That's more valuable than anything. Getting it to new people. Like I said, those new people are what broadens our reach. So we appreciate each and every time you share. If you can, comment. That is just as valuable. If you're watching the replay, comment on that replay. I do read them, but on top of that, it helps the actual engagement of that video. Blazed, hello, how are you doing? Kimberly KLMO. Shout out to Kimberly Clark. Well, we're on Kimberly's. How are you guys doing? I love you guys. Rapture Girl Now. Wide Awake and Angry. We've got WV Prepared Mind. Hidden Guns Prepper Days. Got a lot of blazed and glazed and gazed and Redhead with Dreads. Thank you. Says we have an illegitimate in our a space that we do work in. Let's see here. What's really going on? Says John Gunther. Ja Farm is here. Thank you for being here every night. Seriously. And then let's see here. Go over here. B Stremishes. How did you do that with your name? Thank you. Oh, because you're in, is that Norway? I want to say that's Norway or Dex. Can you, where is NOK from? Is that Norway? Norwegian krone?
Yes, I believe it is.
I think it is. Hey, from half my family's in Norway, so thank you so much for 22 krone. I don't know what that equals, but either way, thank you from the bottom of my heart from Norway. And please, this is really important. Share with a lot of your people. Share with Norwegians because we don't see that very often. So get more Norwegians to watch. So thank all of you for being here tonight. Thank you, all of our supporters. I'm going to pull them up. And then, Dex, do you have anything else to say before we go?
Yeah, great show, brother. And thanks for all the Fugel fam out there, those who have supported the show, both monetarily, but especially those that are sharing. I mean, sharing that content, hitting that like button. I heard the like button may not work for everyone, so make sure you go test your like button and make sure it's working.
I heard it's broken for almost half of 4/3 of the people.
Yeah, I think everybody. And if you're watching on the replay, check that like button. It might not work for you.
Yeah. If it turns black, that means it's working, or blue. But if it turns blue or black, that means it's also broken, so you got to click it twice. Or wait, no. Make sure you click it once. Yeah. To fix it. And then it will be fixed until next show when it's broken. Or fixed. Half glass, half full. That's right. Now it is officially time for the shoutro. It's not an outro. It's not a shout out. By the way, there's some folks that I'm going to be shouting out here in just a second. Thank you, Badger Babe. You and Mrs. Marf are such an adorable couple. May God continue to bless you, your families, and Dex. I love Dosh Hounds. Thank you. Says, love and appreciate you, Marf and Mrs. 2. God bless Marfia Fugel fam. Thank you, Jammer1. You don't have to do that. Jammer, I need to write down a list of people to shout out regardless. Veteran Steve, Pam, Gone Girl, 777. Thank you guys. Again, thank you everybody here. Jules Bandit, Maui Racing Realtor, Jafarm, Makros, Freebird, thank you for the lemon, Quest Everything, thank you for the ice cream, Enchanted by You, Hexagonal Peach, Johnson, thank you for gifting out subs to the channel, Lisa K, 23, thanks for the great show. Chicago Artist, it is lovely to see your name here almost every night. I really do appreciate you. Free Bird, I love your name, sticks out, seriously does because of those dashes. The truth is out there. Another person, just thank you so much. That I appreciate you guys. Somebody special, Literally, that's their name. You are special, so thank you. Sword of the Valkyrie. Love your name. Every time I see it, it makes me smile. Vault 111, Jayla17, Badfish, 1Adam12, Sorrow Scry, at Real Desert, Gem. Thank you for being here almost 3 years. Also, I'm not on Twitter as much. I've kind of taken a Twitter break because Twitter has been pissing me off and making me stressed out, and I just can't handle the headlines on Twitter. So my wife will tell me every 10 minutes, like, oh my gosh, you'll never believe this. And I'm like, stop it. Stop telling me. Because I like doing it in certain times. And then if it's outside of that time, I'm just like, I can't deal with it. Because there are so many fake headlines that are so opinionated. It's like, that's not a headline. That's an opinion. So again, Gem, I miss... for the last week, I've missed you posting your cool pictures. If you guys haven't followed Gem on Twitter, she has really cool photography and really cool art, and she's a videographer and stuff. Lots of very talented people in the Fugle fam. If you haven't checked out Jstone78's website where she sells her paintings, somebody should post that. She does really amazing stuff. Again, I just really appreciate her. Mahalo for you and all. Praying for those who ask. Penny, I love it. Now time for the shoutro. It's not an outro. It's not a shout out. It's a shoutro. Hydro Bear, thank you so much for following. All the new people here from YouTube, thank you so much for all of your support. Thank you for, if this was your first show, this is where we say thank you to everyone in chat and all the people that matter most. You. Thank you, everyone. By the way, the music is not meant to be good. It's just meant to be made on the spot. So sometimes it's horrible. Sometimes it's good. spent it all, recalcitrant, and somebody is special. I love Jesus forever, Braley and Laura Griffith, and the truth is out there. Heart is heavy with the life is better on stilts. Hey, Tiger Lily. Hey, Force His Nature. Hey, Mona 111. Ecto 1 and everybody. Mighty Tory and the Texas and Sunny Beach Girl. I live by the sea and PJ Blake and Guy C. DBB. Hey, somebody's been stolen our jazz for the nature. Yeah.
Holy Major Mary, King I live by the sea, and the Gordo, and the Sheriff, and the Johnny, and the Foy, Heidi, and the Red, and Noah, all the Jackson, and the Sequel, and the Big Deal, and the Big Deal, and the Lamp, and the Down. Brother Daniel, and the Rose, I love you, and all the Papa, and the Sarah, okay, Juicy, and the Beauty, and the Beauty, and the Beauty, and the Juicy, to the East, stop.
No keyboard warrior. Going fine. Cup hours of the night, and we gave all the time. Now it's all in the past, and now don't be like Breckenridge. Wow. Now I've got to find all the time that I lost a dime, mama. How did it now? No bear buds I go down, and now I see it. Luckiest followers tonight, winning 73 lemons from the chest, Jammer 1. Number 2, Life is Better on Stilts, 142. Mrs. Jammer, 31. Between them, they got 100 lemons. The Truth is Out There. Thank you so much. Being number 4, Island by the Sea. If you want to know, the key to winning the chest is talking in chat more. I was rocking, going back now, Texas, Annie, and the rapture going Nurse Betty, always thought, red hat with dress now, that Tower Baron saw, the Johnson, hey, La Bamba 88, and a machine of focus. Big shout out to Veteran Steve, Machina Opus, La Bamba, Badger Babe, Johnson, Z2M, Lisa K, Tower Bear, Redhead, and Nurse Betty. I'm gonna go back and die. No, nobody back and die. Nurse Betty on a wedding on door. Hi. Nurse Betty on the Getty on roll. Nurse Betty on the Getty bird. 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 and the couch Maria. Therefore be and the slide in tonight. We're gonna bring it back and you gotta bring it right with the Sunny Beach girl and the somebody special. Nurse Betty on the Gettysburg. 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 Irish TK, thank you so much for the continued subscription.
Bring back now and